That's how they're supposed to be ridden. Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Today, I am super stoked to be doing this video on the 1985 Kawasaki Eliminator ZL900. And if the late 70s and early 80s were the era of the UJM, the Universal Japanese Motorcycle, the mid-80s were the era of specialization. And so you had bikes becoming cruisers, you had muscle cruisers, you had drag bikes, you had sport bikes, dedicated tours. Everybody had specialized, and it was no longer about being good at just about everything. It was all about being the best at one thing. And this is the first ever designed for purpose drag bike. It is a factory custom from Kawasaki, and what they did on this bike was they took their legendary 900cc motor out of the Kawasaki Ninja 900, and they put it in a long, low frame with shaft drive. They geared it low. They put a small, sleek gas tank on it, and this bike was just designed for the drag strip and designed to just look cool cruising down the boulevard. And it really is a success on both counts. To ride one of these back to back with the 900 Ninja, you would swear that this bike was faster. And really, at almost any speed, it will, and in any gear, because it's geared lower and the engine is tuned differently, it'll just walk away from the Ninja. Now, the Ninja is a faster bike overall, and the Ninja is also a faster bike in the corners, but the 900 Eliminator is just a super quick machine, really at almost any speed. And the exhaust on this bike just has one of the best sounding stock exhaust systems I think that they've ever produced. It's got a jet engine sound to it and a tone that's just incredible. Now, this bike I actually purchased for my brother-in-law. His wife had contracted me to purchase this for him for his 30th birthday. And so he has actually owned this bike now for over 20 years, and it's recently undergone an like partial restoration. It's got the new paint on it. A lot of little details were touched up. The engine was tuned up, and it's got a jet kit and some K&N air filters on it. And man, what a fantastic machine, just beautiful. So we'll look in a minute here. We'll get some ride video of it, and hopefully give you an idea of what the bike is like to ride. But just a neat machine. And my brother-in-law actually has a couple of these bikes, so we'll also take a look. He's got one that's completely stock, a red one, and we'll take a look at that one in a future episode. I am on Kawasaki's 1986 ZL900 Eliminator, and this is Kawasaki's drag bike, and it just, what a neat feel from the saddle, and what a great sound. I can tell I didn't mod this bike because the brakes are definitely period mush. They would drastically be helped with a set of stainless steel brake lines. I'll have to talk to my brother-in-law about that. It'll just definitely increase the safety factor. This machine is so quick. And we're just going through a set of tighter twisties here. And the bike does roll through the twisties pretty nicely, and just instant pickup. Very, very smooth motor. It's very, very stable. It has a narrow bar on it that contributes to the stability. It's got a pretty low seat height, and it's got just a little bit of a reach forward to the bars, which just really lends itself to good control. It has a hydraulic clutch, so it's a little bit odd with the way that the clutch engagement is. It's pretty far out there, and so it would take a little bit of getting used to just to ride this bike quickly in the corners. But it definitely handles nicer than the long, low layout would suggest. That's quick. Yeah, that generates speed real quick. Very nice. It definitely feels like a bigger motor than the 900 cc's would suggest. That pulls really hard. That's fun. Yeah, and the way that thing pulls, even when you shift, it just wants to jump. That's one of the all-around great feeling street bike motors. So nice. One of the things that set the Kawasaki apart from the other big bore muscle cruisers from Yamaha, Suzuki, and Honda, all three of those manufacturers used large liquid-cooled V4 type engines, and Kawasaki was the only one to continue on with an inline four-cylinder motor, and it actually has the smallest motor of the bunch. The Magna had the V65, which was 1100 cc's. The VMAX is a 1200 cc bike, and Suzuki's Madura 1200 was also a 1200 cc bike. So at 900 cc's, the Kawasaki really gives up a lot of displacement to those other bikes, but you'd never know it from the saddle. This thing is just a rocket ship, and seat of the pants feel. This bike just simply feels fast. It may, you know, the VMAX, when the VMAX came out, it kind of put the other muscle bikes on the trailer. But if you would, unless you're riding this back to back with the VMAX, you would swear that this one was faster. It just has that type of feel to it. Really a powerful bike. Nice feature, this has a much more comfortable seat than the VMAX, and it also has a 6-speed transmission, which is a really nice feature on this. It's not the 5-speed that you just always feel like you're wound tight, so I appreciate that. All of the muscle bikes of the era use the shaft drive. I'm not even exactly sure why, but I'm a fan of the shaft drive. This one doesn't jack up and down too much compared to the other ones, but it's a neat bike. This one has a couple of features. It's got a custom-made belly pan underneath the motor, and like I say, it's got the K&N air filters and a jet kit on the carburetors. One of the things that's a little bit ridiculous about the Eliminator and kind of makes me laugh is it's got a teeny tiny fuel tank. Range on this bike, there's times where you'll hit reserve. If you've been in the throttle, you will hit reserve at around 75 miles. And so it's comical, and it's, you know, I hear people give the Sportsters a hard time for how small their gas tanks are, but this one will rival a Sportster as far as limited range goes. And to me, that it's not really a long distance bike. It really is just a styling bike and a go fast bike in a straight line. So yeah, they went to, when they went to the 1000 Eliminator, it had a much larger gas tank. It was honestly a little bit more practical all around bike, but it just didn't have the look of the 900. That's awesome.